Hello guys, welcome back to my C++ series. Today in this video we will be learning all about the variables, what are the variables, how we use them, why we use them in our C++ projects. So when we come onto the data, we have to store data, we have to input data, we have to output the data. So in this case we have to use the variables to store data, to input the data, to get the data from the variables as well. So in this case the variables comes handy. So let's see what are the variables and how we use them in our project. Provide the int and you can give any name with it. Okay, so we can store 0 to 9, so we can store 2 billion of numbers in the variable. So why we can store the 2 billions of numbers in it? Because the integer has the size 4 byte as well. So 4 bytes, you all know that 1 byte is equals to 8 bits as well. When we are going to multiply by 4, so we will get 32. So 32 we will get when we will come onto the calculations to power 31, we will get the 2 billions. Okay, so why we using the 31, why we don't using the 32 as well? So the answer is because the integer can store negative values and positive values. So to store the plus and the minus sign, it takes 1 bit as well. So the answer is the simple one. So if you think that I don't have to store the negative value, so I just want to store the positive value. In this case we will get the unsigned integer here, so we can store the value, then we will be multiply by it. So we will multiply by double, we will get the 4 billions as well. So in this case the unsigned into we count it as well. So when we will come to store the value with the floating point, so in this case we will have the float where we can store the floating point is 2.3 for example. So we also can store it in the double value you can give it to. So whenever we have to store the data in the characters, so we have the character value called character to store into the quotation as well. So we can that's it. So to see out, we're going to build it. When we are running, so you can see the S is on the screen here. Okay, so you can't store it the character value without the character. If you will store, so for example 65, it will also work here. Okay, but it will give the ASCII value of A is 65. It is only storing the ASCII value, it will not store the integer value in this case. Okay, when we will give it 1, we will run it, you can see it's a question mark. Okay, so when we have a lot of data types like int, float, string as well, we can store many of characters in a string. String is like, we will cover it, it is a different topic, we will cover it in the future. So it is a long topic, we can do lot of things in the string. Okay, so character double also can store the floating point value. The short can also store the character value as well. So long, okay, long integer. So the double has the size bytes, and the character is only stores 1 byte. To float stores 4 bytes, and the integer, as I showed you, that it stores the 4 bytes as well. Okay, we also can perform the different type of operations on the variables, like integer variable is equals to 3 4 plus 5 as well, it can store. So we are going to build it and then we will run it. We will get 9 as well. So that's the way we are going to use in the future. A lot more operations we will do. So in this series I will not perform the factorial like the different kind of formulas. So I will just teach you the basics as well. You just have to be creative by performing these type of operations. It will help you a lot in your programming career as well. So one more thing about it is that whenever you are going to declare the variable, so you are just going to use it after you declaring to the bracket here. So let's have a scope, let's have some boundaries. You can say the boundary of variable integer that is declared here is from here to the end bracket here. We can go to cin, we can cin also. Look at the variable cin, as cin was to get the console input from the user as well. So we can see whenever we will enter 1, the output will be 1 as well. Okay, we are storing it on the stack. Two types of memory there in the programming is one is heap and other is stack. So we will cover a lot all about stacks and heaps in the future as well. That's all, guys. So I hope you all have understand how to declare the variable and how to use the variables as well. That's all for today. Goodbye for now.